Hi, I'm Dr. Tawainna Houston, and I'm a naturopathic physician who also operates as a cultural wellness educator. And I examine the historical factors of disease and how it shows up as stress, and the stress creates the outcome of disease. And so when we talk about the whole idea of emotional exhaustion, one of the biggest things that I feel like is missing is just the comprehensive life of people that are exhausted, and just looking at it in context and how that ends up creating a physiological response within the body. And so it's not something that's isolated to the mental, emotional of our health, but ends up impacting our whole well-being.
From your perspective in cultural wellness and systemic health, how have historical and social conditions contributed to emotional exhaustion, especially in underserved communities?
Thank you. What we see currently in underserved communities due to the systemic inequities is really people being caught in a cycle of survival. And what I mean by that is, particularly within the Black community, people working multiple jobs to keep ends met, and that, of course, leading to not the adequate amount of rest, as Michelle talked about, living in food deserts where there aren't any grocery stores within 1 to 2 mile radius to access fresh produce, and so just an overconsumption and over-reliance on the ultra-processed foods that we see in the food swamps. So there's probably, statistics say about 2.5 more fast food restaurants per square mile radius in comparison to what you might see in white neighborhoods. And so not only just on the underserved community level do we see the exhaustion coming from these issues, but also when we look at our Black professionals, people that have strived to get to their level of achievement, and it's a process of additional challenges and hurdles and even getting to that point. And so you're exhausted by the time you get to the position, get to the title, and the additional exhaustion comes when there is no representation once you get there. You're it. And to be solo without racial concordance of mentorship, someone to help in terms of you navigating that terrain and other possible invisible barriers to the next level of accomplishment. And so it becomes exhausting when you're not recognized for the same level of accomplishments and achievements as your counterparts might be for lesser achievements. And so all of these things, in addition to not necessarily being your title or your position being respected as an authority figure or a leader or a true voice at the table, and the microaggressions and the code switching that happens in the workplace environment. And so when we interact with all of this, it becomes exhausting to be the only one, exhausting to be in a space where you're not necessarily accepted or appreciated for being there, and that ends up creating the stress, the chronic stress in those environments that leads to disease.
Thank you.